It's getting to that time of the year where the ball isn't going as far off the tee. There's not as much run in the fairways. Those twilight rounds aren't as feasible anymore. And those early morning tee off times, yeah, they're not as appetizing as they were a couple of months ago. That's right, we are sashaying into autumn and winter golf season. And in today's episode, we're going to be going over some of the must-have fashion essentials for the changing climate. So let's get into it. If you guys like golf related content, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you like sneakers, go ahead and follow my main channel. And I'd really appreciate it if you guys went over to my IG and gave me a follow over there as well. Right, we're gonna start things off by talking about caps and hats, headwear. A couple of good options to add to the rotation for hats has got to be a good bucket hat and a good beanie. When it comes to buckets, I like a more synthetic nylon type material. I have this Melbourne Futura bucket hat, which is really good. It's a polyester material, and I think it's sort of like water resistant. It's not waterproof, but I like wearing this because it's nice and light, and when it does rain, it sort of wicks the rain, but it doesn't get too wet and too sort of smelly. I also like the fact that it has a drawstring as well, which is good to secure this bad boy when the weather is a little bit temperamental. Sometimes if you get a bucket hat that doesn't fit really nicely and the winds are up, it can blow off and be a little bit annoying. So getting some kind of water resistant, lightweight polyester bucket hat could be a good shout. Manners have a couple of nice options with their greenskeepers ones, but yeah, any bucket hat will do really, depending on your preferences. And the other hats to have, I think, for the autumn and winter golf season here is obviously a beanie, which is going to be really down to your own personal aesthetic preference. Let's talk about mid layers. I feel like Manners have a really good product in the shooter shirt. And if you're not going to go for the shooter shirt, you can go for something kind of similar. This is a water resistant and wind resistant fabric. It's meant to be worn over your bottom layer, whether that's a polo shirt or a t-shirt or whatever. It's collared. It has a really awesome 90s inspired basketball look because it's inspired by the warm-up jerseys of old. It's very lightweight, very breathable, but it does add a little bit of protection from the elements. And it comes in at around 140 pounds in a number of really nice looking colorways. And on body, these things look really sharp. Right, let's talk about hoodies. Man, we're in a day and age where golf hoodies are a thing. All the big brands are doing them, and it really depends on your own personal preference and your own desired aesthetic. There's a whole bunch of different fabrics. There's a whole bunch of different cuts. I kind of like the Ralph Lauren waffle knit hoodie here. I feel like this has quite a classy look. Coming in at 165 pounds. I feel like this price point is about mid-range. You could pay a little bit more, you could pay a little bit less. Peter Millar also have a whole bunch of different options from like 125 quid right up to 275 pounds for their premium merino wool hoodie option. G4 have some nice hoodies as well. Right, so with Nike, they have, as you would expect, a whole bunch of options from like 55 pounds to the most basic, to the dry fit tour hoodie, which is really popular. Depending on the colorway, these things tend to sell out at 79 pounds. And then you've got Nike's kind of like premium hoodie, which is the dry fit technology, the Thermoflex hoodie, coming in at 99 pounds. So they've kind of got most of that bottom quadrant of the markets cornered when it comes to the price points. But basically, I feel like getting a hoodie into the rotation and into the collection is an absolute autumn essential to kick the round off with, or to maybe change into after your round once you're not as warm, or if the weather just changes up. Gilets. Autumn conditions, changeable weather means gilets. The cool thing about a gilet is that it just adds that little extra bit of warmth over and above your polo shirts whilst keeping the arms free. If you can get yourself a nice, comfortable, lightweight gilet that's well insulated, you are going to be ready for all sorts of different conditions. Puma have some good options. G4 have some good options. If it's not a gilet, maybe a vest, some kind of a reversible vest, maybe even like this one from Adidas, the EQT line, which is a nice throwback. Heaps of different options out there when it comes to a gilet. But getting a gilet or a vest introduced into your autumn wardrobe, if you haven't already done so, is going to be a must. Unfortunately, it might be time to reconsider the shorts, unless you're one of those guys like me that plays in shorts pretty much all year round. And when it comes to trousers, do whatever you want. You know, there's no absolute recommendations, but there are a couple of considerations that I think would be worth bearing in mind for your trousers. And that's to have some options when it comes to like nylon or spandex combo trousers. A little bit like these ones I have here from Manners. These things are lightweight, they're breathable, they're easy to wash, easy to clean, comfortable, stretchy. I actually have like multiple pairs. I have a pair of like Calvin Kleins here as well. And I just like these options with the pants, just in case the weather takes a bit of a turn for the worse, as it's wanting to do these days. You've got a pants that looks smart on body, but can also deal with the changeable conditions. Because I don't know about you guys, but if you're wearing like a regular cotton trouser or a regular golf trouser and it starts raining and they get wet and start sticking to your legs, that just becomes a little bit ugh. Waterproofs. It's a tricky one with waterproofs because a lot of times the stuff is so expensive. There's something really grating about having to spend so much money on items of clothing you really don't want to have to ever wear. But waterproofs is one of those things. You invest in it one time and you're sort of set for your golfing life. If you are put off the sheer cost of some of the waterproof gear out there, there are some other options out there available to you. One, which is a good sneaky one, is to have a look on Facebook Marketplace. A lot of times people out there who are done with golf might just be looking to get rid of their stuff for the cheap, and sometimes people might be looking to get rid of some really good stuff. So whether it's Facebook Marketplace, whether it's Vinted, whether it's eBay or Craigslist or whatever, if you're not looking to shell out crazy money on some brand new waterproofs, go down the used route or the pre-loved route. There are plenty of good options out there for you. But if you're resigned to buying brand new, I'd probably discourage you going for the cheapest of the cheap options. A lot of times those really cheap options are cheap because they're not well made. They're water resistant rather than completely waterproof. The seams aren't good, the stitching isn't good, the general quality isn't that good. The other option, of course, is to buy according to the season. So you want to be buying your waterproofs ideally in the summer when a lot of that stuff is reduced, in the same way that a lot of stuff for next summer is going to be great to cop right now at the end of season sale. So there are plenty of options out there. It's all much of muchness in terms of the aesthetics and stuff like that. I would say just shop according to your budget. Quarter zips, crew necks, all that type of stuff. I need to get myself another quarter zip. So many different options out there, so many different price points out there. Same thing with crew necks. All I would say is it's always good to consider sizing and fit. Sometimes if you get a quarter zip that's a little bit too tight and restrictive and the material isn't stretchy enough, it can make you feel a little bit impeded with your swing. And it's the same thing when it comes to getting something that's a little bit too big and a little bit too oversized. Things can sort of bunch up, whether it's at the elbows or the wrists. You can start getting some bunching in and around the shoulders. Do you want something to be a little bit cropped or a little bit longer? Just bear in mind how you like your clothes to fit when you're looking for those mid layers, because they're also going to be packed on top of your base layer as well, meaning it could potentially restrict your swing and your performance. So the main thing I would advise when it comes to shopping around for your mid layers is just consider the fit. And then last up, we have the footwear. Man, when it comes to footwear, I feel like there are just a couple of things to consider. First is going to be the grip. So the soft spike shoes you've been enjoying wearing over the summer, you can probably put those on ice for next summer. I feel like wintertime is all about cleat season. It's all about waterproof season. And there are some winter specific golf shoes that we can take a look at that you might want to consider. The first one is this Merrimack waterproof spiked golf boot. So boot season, slightly higher collared, slightly more robust looking, and obviously completely waterproof. That is an option. Nike have a version as well. Basically, when it comes to your autumn and winter golfing footwear, you want to be thinking Gore-Tex, you want to be thinking waterproof, you want to be thinking good grip and good traction with an aggressive spike setup to make sure that you don't go slipping around. So those are the main considerations I would keep in mind when you're shopping around for some winter golf shoes. Or if you're not bothered about buying some new golf shoes, then obviously just go in for your spiked golf shoes next time you're out there playing in the wet. And that about does it. Those are the autumn fashion golf essentials. Get a good bucket hat, get a good mid layer going, get some waterproofs going, get yourself some aggressively spiked or some winter golf shoes set on up and enjoy. I'm looking forward to playing some autumn and winter golf. I'm looking forward to winter rules. I'm looking forward to, trying to keep the swing going and maybe make some improvements. I feel like autumn and winter for a lot of people is time to play a little bit of golf, but maybe spend a bit more time practicing to really get the game sharpened up for next spring and next summer. So a little bit of both from me is what I'm planning on doing. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Do you enjoy these types of vids? Make sure you let me know down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care for now. Peace.